Hey everybody! In this video we're gonna be rating and ranking the Super Mario Bros. Mini games. I think everyone who had a Nintendo DS as a kid, Mario Bros. Definitely was some part of their childhood. Yeah, I remember playing this game when I was like 8 and totally not just last week ago. I like every week before that because that would be weird. Like Mario Bros. Itself already is a really great game, and then if that wasn't enough, you have all of these mini games, and besides that another game, which is Mario vs. Luigi. Since I was lucky enough to grow up with a twin sister, I've always had someone to play these mini games with. I've got well over 300 hours in this game, so I'm basically a professional. So I thought it would be a great idea to rank and rate them and give some of y'all kind of a throwback. And yeah, as always, these are just my opinions and I'm totally okay with someone disagreeing. I'm not saying my opinions are the only right answer, and it's obviously a game and everyone enjoys different things, so it's normal everyone would enjoy some games more than others. So Mario Bros. Has 26 multiplayer mini games, and yeah, let's go. So the last place in my ranking goes to Puzzle Panel. If this was your favorite game as a child, you're definitely either in prison right now or the next Einstein, because I don't think anyone really understood this game as a kid. You were just pressing random tiles and see what happened. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of the same with me right now. So this is why I would place Puzzle Panel as my least favorite game. Next we have the game Concentration. I like that they included Wario in one of these games. I like him as a character, but this game kind of looks really ugly. Like design wise, it's not really appealing at all. And I think you'd just be remembering like 5 blocks and then the rest you'd just be guessing because you forgot all of them already. So this is why I put Concentration pretty low. Next we have versus Trampoline Time. Generally I would just want to say I really like the titles they gave these games, because Concentration, Trampoline Time, I don't know, it's so cute. But yeah, for Trampoline Time, the design is kind of super ugly. Like it looks like you're in this weird area, and the trampolines also look really ugly, I don't know. And oftentimes you would place these trampolines right under them and they would still fall through, so they kind of was really annoying. So this is why I don't really like this game a lot. Now on place 23 I put Loves Me. I really like the design of this game. I think the top screen looks so peaceful and beautiful, and Yoshi is also one of my favorite characters in the Mario Bros. World. But this is once again one of these games that's not really fun, because even if you put some thought into it, in the end you can't really control the outcome, or like it doesn't make sense when you're playing it in pairs. With more players it's a little more fun, but it's not really, like, it just doesn't really make sense a lot. And yeah, it's just not as much fun playing. On the next place I'd rank Jumping Brothers. Once again, the design in this game is not really as pretty, and same as with Trampoline Time, sometimes you tap them and they still just fall through, and that's kind of annoying, and I don't know, it's just not really that much fun. The next game is called Whack-A-Monty. I always thought the kind of the area where these Montys and Luigis would pop out looked really weird, like the kind of pictures you see when you type in trypophobia. I don't really like the design, and you can also not really see Monty because they're both brown. And I don't know, it's just something about this game that never really clicked for me, but it's also not a bad game. The next game is called Luigi Jack. I'm pretty sure at least one person playing the casino minigames now has a gaming addiction. But yeah, I think all of the casino games are such a vibe. I love how Luigi is just chilling at the top screen and putting out these cards. Also when sometimes when Toad would be rocking behind him, that was really funny for some reason. But yeah, for Luigi Jack, I think it's just kind of fun to guess, but not really intense or anything, and it's once again a game that has to do with luck, and so you don't really have a lot of control. The next game is called Memory Match, so basically it's just normal memory. And I generally like memory as a game, but since there's only so few cards, when you when you've collected half of them, the game would basically already be over, because you could just guess and then there's a high chance you'd be right, like you'd be turning around the right cards. So it's a little too few cards for me, and this is why I put it on place 19. Next we have the Bob-omb. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, the Bob-omb trampoline. For some reason I really don't like games which setting is the desert, because it makes me feel warm, and I don't like heat because then I get dizzy and stuff. So yeah, I don't really like the setting. And when I asked my sister what she thought the setting was, because I was talking about the desert, she thought it was some kind of circus, which I thought was funny. I like this game because sometimes it can be super intense, but then sometimes two of the bombs would fall at the same time, but like at completely different places, and then you can't really do much about whether they fall in the sand or not. The next game is Witch Wiggler, and I don't like the color orange, like it's my least favorite color, fun fact. So aesthetically speaking, I don't really like this game color wise. Sometimes it would be super stressful and overwhelming because there's all of these wigglers and you can't really, find the right one, and I don't know. It's pretty much the same principle as Wanted, but less fun and with less variety. So yeah. The next place goes to Jumping Sudden Death. I don't know why they chose this title for the game, because it sounds kind of brutal. But yeah, generally I really like the design of this game, because the rainbows in the background look really like cute, and it really just gives off wholesome vibes kind of. And it can also be really fun, because when you're playing with someone and they jump onto your player's head and then they bump off, and I don't know, that's kind of funny to me. The only thing I don't really like are the spurs at the bottom, because they don't really fit the aesthetic. So maybe just based on the title, they should have replaced the spurs with the Golden Gate Bridge. The next place goes to Picture Poker. This once again is one of these games that you probably didn't get as a child and were just picking random cards and don't know why you would win or lose. But now it's basically just normal poker, but with the Mario Bros characters. And I mean, poker is kind of fun, but once again you don't really have a lot of control over what cards you're gonna get, and it's not really that much fun again. So yeah. On place 14 we have Hide and Boo Seek. I'm really sorry for putting it that low, even though it's like right in the middle, but I've really overplayed this game as a child, so it's not really as exciting anymore. On place 13 I put Versus Paragon, because this game can be really intense and you have basically all the control over whether you win or lose, so it's fun because of that. But sometimes the game wouldn't really pick up when you click the cards, because you're just too fast, So yeah, sometimes that would be kind of bothering me a little, but it's still pretty fun. Place 12 goes to Snowball Slam. This game is super fun if you play it with 3 other people, because then it gets super chaotic and it's basically like a war zone where everyone throws these snowballs everywhere. But just as with certain songs, it's one of those games that I feel like I'm not always in the mood for and then skip it. But then whenever I actually do play it, it's really fun. Place 11 goes to Bob-omb Reverse. As a kid, I hated this game a lot. I'd probably have ranked this game right above Puzzle Panel, because it's really shitty, but not as shitty as Puzzle Panel. But recently, I've played it more, and it's pretty fun, and you have to kind of find a structure in this game. And yeah, it's super satisfying when the colors of your opponent change into your colors, or like the other way around, because of the sound, and I know it just looks super satisfying. And I love the music in this game. It kind of can make you crazy and gives off asylum vibes. But also I think it's just really well composed and definitely stays in your head, so the music is definitely why I put it also a little higher than other games. Okay, now we've reached the top 10. So on place 10 I put Luigi's Thrilling Cards. So basically you have to guess what the other players have, and for me this game was definitely more trying to trick, like jokingly trying to trick the other players into showing you their top screen, or like not paying attention so you could look at it. But not really cheating because you just do it jokingly and stuff. But in this game, luck definitely also plays a big role, so sometimes that's annoying, and you can't really do anything against losing coins when you get a bad card, obviously. So sometimes even when you'd be guessing right, you still wouldn't win. Next we have snowball slalom. I swear when two of these snowballs bump into each other, you basically think a bomb just fucking exploded. But yeah, the sound effects in this game definitely add to why it's so much fun, and they also make it more intense. And when you play with 4 players, it's super chaotic. But yeah, for some reason this game never really clicked for me. Like, it's definitely fun, but I wouldn't always want to play it, you know? The next game is called Speed. Are they trying to give us a hint what happens at casinos? Just kidding. Obviously everyone does cocaine there, so. So for a card game, this game is definitely super fun because it can get super chaotic and everyone tries to lay off their cards as quick as possible. I thought it was kind of funny when no one had any cards, and then you would start a new round and you just have to wait because there were no new cards available either. And I don't know, I thought that was funny, but I can see how that would be annoying to someone else. And it's once again a game where you need luck and can't really control whether you win. Next game is called Balloon Racing. The biggest part of why this game is so much fun is because people would just blow so hard into their microphone for no reason. Like, my friends would literally be out of breath after playing this game. But you actually don't even have to like blow into the mic that hard. You can just, you know, blow softly. That's like a pro gamer tip from me. Besides the gameplay, I also really like the design of this game because at the bottom you have this castle and then you fly up to the sky and it's super pretty, and then there's this boat which also looks kind of cute. And I love when you actually reach it, how a character would be jumping on it. I don't know, that's just super wholesome. And yeah, in this game it's also up to you whether you win because you have to kind of fly around these little thingies in the sky, I don't know, that destroy your balloon. So yeah, all in all, this is a really good game. The 6th place goes to Mario Slides. For some reason, like, there's these 2 arrows on the side and I never really saw these, and I've wasted so much good game time playing this game without speeding the time forward, because this is also really fun because this is what makes it more intense and stuff. And then sometimes your lines would be way more complicated to connect than your opponents. So yeah, it's a solid good game, but you can't play it with lots of people. Now we've reached the top 5. This is really the elite of Mario Bros. Minigames, in my opinion. So, in place 5 we have Run Bob-omb Run. I love this game especially because I always annoy my friends by bumping into them. First of all, the sound is really funny, and then whenever you bumped into them, they bounce off. And I don't know, it's really funny to annoy people with this game. And the gameplay itself is also really fun. Like, you have to try to avoid these fireballs, and it gets more intense the more people there are like playing with you. So I really like this game. Okay, on place 4 we have Lakitu Launch 1-on-1. So there's 2 Lakitu launches, and I'm talking about that you can only play with 2 players. As a kid, I didn't really like this game at all for some reason, and I've never really played it. But then recently I've played it a lot more, and I've actually enjoyed it a lot because, first of all, the Lakitu that always has the star makes this sound, and it's really kind of annoying but also kind of fun. And I like how the balls from the slingshot would bump into each other again and then fly into different directions. And the color scheme from this game is sort of weird, and I didn't like that before. It kind of has this dream vibe in a way because the colors are not really saturated at all. But now I kind of like the aesthetic and that it looks, you know, different than other games, like other mini games. So yeah, a solid place 4. Okay, so next on the list I have Bob-omb's Sudden Death. Why are the developers of this game coming up with these game titles, like with these mini game titles? I don't get it. But yeah, it's kind of, yeah. The design is super ugly, so this game, I was really lucky that I put it that high. it looks like this factory in a way, and it's really uncomfortable, but since the bombs are black and pink, which is my favorite color combination, I'm forgiving it. Especially when they're about to explode and you get this frizzling sound effect, it gets even more intense. So this game is really fun, and it's also a simple principle. Now on second place we have the game Wanted. I really think everyone enjoyed this game as a kid because the gameplay is super easy yet really fun. Okay, so now we finally come to the first place in my ranking. Forget about Fallout, forget about The Witcher, forget about Dragon Quest. This game is basically the best game ever made in the history of humankind. Just kidding, but so in first place we have Le Key to Launch, the one you can play with up to 4 players. There's literally not one bad thing about this mini game. The colors are really nice, the game design is pretty, it never really gets boring. You basically influence your own points but also your opponent's points, which is also a really great idea. It's really satisfying when the little balls fall into the big shell, like the sound effects are satisfying, and the moment your shells get counted is also really intense, and you're like wondering how much points will you get, and yeah, so this game is just really great. Okay, so this is it. If you enjoyed this rating, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and also maybe consider subscribing. Definitely write down your top 10 list or your top 26 list. I like comparing as always, and yeah, see you next time.